Say you want someone. Say you want someone. Said you want someone. Say you want someone. I think I got mixed personalities. This bitch switched up my whole mentality. This girl, she got mixed personalities. One day she's happy, then she mad at me. Say you want someone. So the people, so the kids love you. Fuck you like this, fuck you like that. Nah, I got mixed personalities. She got me stressing, singing melodies. Fuck, I swear I catch a felony. Oh, anatomy. Say you want someone. Say you want someone. Say you want someone. Said you want someone. I swear to God, this girl be tripping, dog. One day she blooded, then she tripping, dog. You know she put it in the kids, dog. She screaming now she needs some living, dog. Like ignore my call. She keep on blocking, ignore my call. I'm all inside, I knock down the wall. Now this bitch hyper needs some Adderall. Oh no, I think I got mixed personalities. This bitch switched up my whole mentality. This girl, she got mixed personalities. One day she's happy, then she mad at me. Say you want someone, so the people, so the kids love you. Fuck you like this, fuck you like this. Oh no, I ain't never been here before. Oh no, keep pressing in. Oh no, she keep ignoring my calls and blocking me on everything. Bitch, and it's my fault. I got the key to the little bitch fucking. You can't get too far. Better go get a lot. Better go get your car. Keep playing with my son. That's my boo, that's my son, that's my everything. That's my bitch forever. Don't need no better man. I hear the world. Her new pajama. Take the bitch out to her home. They don't eat that bitty on the let me try. Take her down in the other way. Take her down, yeah, the other way. Take her down, yeah, the third way. I can know you dog, trying to give you love. Telling me you don't give a fuck. I know that ain't that fuck you like I fuck you.
But I'm gonna stop. I don't want to have the people waiting too long. But welcome to Talk Up, man. I'm your host, Sam the Reaper. I got my brother with me like always.
Yo, it's your boy Black, man. Welcome to Talk Up, platform for the people.
Y'all ain't know, like he said, Talk Up, it's the platform for the people, man. We trying to feed y'all, give it to y'all, give the platform for the people to come out here, speak their voice with nobody else.
I'm gonna need you to turn that shit off.
I'm sorry. That's the comments, man. I'm sorry. But tonight we got a special guest in the building, Kiara Mitchell. I'm gonna allow her to introduce herself for y'all.
So my name is Kiara Mitchell. What do you want to know? I'm a flight attendant. Since they put that picture up, that's not the most important thing.
It sounds like it to me.
It's not the most important thing, but yeah. What am I all about? I'm all about self-love, soul healing, just like not woman empowerment, but personal empowerment, personal growth, personal love, finding yourself, doing all that good stuff. If you want to follow me, you can follow my business page. So I actually sell bracelets. So healing bracelets with crystals. So crystal bracelets is my thing. My website is launching soon, so be on the lookout. But if you go to Whole Soul Wellness on Instagram, check me out up there.
Hey, I like that. And the topics we have for y'all today, we're going to dive into the millennial women. We're going to talk about gender roles and as far as entrepreneurship, business, the whole 9-9. It's all about women empowerment. If y'all don't know, me and Black, we got a little movement. We finna have out to the people real soon. She Matters. And with that movement, it speaks for itself. She matters,
She matters. T-shirts, they common. Yeah, she
It
matters.
definitely does.
Yeah, most definitely. Even though we can't stand her, she matters.
But I'm gonna dive right into it. You know, we kind of late. Shout out to the Patriots. They won the Super Bowl tonight. You know, Tom Brady, I knew he was gonna get one. Hopefully he retires so it could be a
Man, Brady need to carry his ass.
Even
Just stop being modest.
You
Brady
know?
need to carry his ass somewhere.
But the topics for the day, man. Our first question, and I'm gonna dive right into it, man. Do gender play a defining role in women's careers? Is it important for women to recognize this? How do you
I'm
feel?
gonna let our guest tap into that one first. I'm gonna just follow up with that one. I'm being very nice today. Like they say, ladies first.
Okay. Does gender play a defining role in women's careers? Yeah, I think that it can. I think that it does. Do I think that it should? It depends on, I guess, how you look at it. It depends on perspective. But I think that it does, unfortunately. I guess that's why we're having the conversation.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I guess that's why we're having the conversation that we're having. And can you expound as far as like, does gender play a defining role in women's careers? Do you mean for the woman or for the man?
For the woman.
I want to talk about for the woman. The reason why I would love to know more about this topic is because you have so many women that are in power. First of all, in power, coming into power, and starting out a whole bunch of businesses and all of that. But I feel like it's an uneven playing field, and so I want to know, how does your gender, as being a woman, make it difficult for you?
Dealing with people who don't realize what, like the word feminist, and I hate to start off with that.
Please start off with it. Please.
People taking the word feminism as if it's bad. Like, look it up. The word feminism really just means the equality of all people, not even the equality of just women, the equality of all people, men and female, just being equal. Why is that a bad thing? So yeah, I guess it does. Gender definitely does play a defining role in that way that it, I guess, should not. We're coming into power, whatever. It's 2018. We have that 2019, definitely, right? So it's February 2019. But yeah, why are we still even having this conversation? I'm a person, you're a person. You have a job just like I have a job. We both have jobs to do. Why can't we? Why is it so hard, I guess, for really men? And I'm speaking coming from a woman. Why is it so hard for you to grasp that when we're talking about a job or a career, I can do the same thing that you can do? I'm not talking about, as a man, I can make babies like you. I'm not talking about I can.
Yeah, shout out to babies.
She went that way. Hey, look, shit, come this way. Hey, look, I was sitting on the donut. You feel me? I was sitting on the whole donut. I ain't got none of my shit.
No, but seriously, to me, it's crazy. To me, it's crazy that we still even have to have that conversation. It is what it is. Why do you look at me, or why do some men look at women as less than when it comes to a job or careers, especially in like the white collar, like especially in white collar industry? Yeah, like, no, you're a boss. I can be a boss just like you. You can file papers just like I can file papers. You can get the job done just like I can get the job done. Why are we even still having that conversation? Like, what is that?
Let me tap on it first. I'm gonna say this, and it's a lot. I mean, this is a big issue when it comes to careers and defining the woman's role. A lot of men feel less empowered, or pretty much act without pride, or like a shot to their ego if a woman is in charge. Meaning that if a woman calling the shots, I mean, a man would be very disgruntled. I can say that. I mean, I done worked in different environments, military, customer service, all that. I mean, if a woman is in charge, men feel very disgruntled.
Can I say something really quick? And that it bothers, like what, not say I can't understand, because I do understand, but it just bothers me that even as Black people, like coming from Black men, that you don't see the difference, or you don't see not even the difference. You don't see that it's the same thing. That's just like, sorry to always take it to race, but that's just like a white person feeling some type of way or having pride issues when a Black man is in charge. And I'm just talking about two men, a white man feeling some type of way that a Black man is in charge. And I feel how I feel as a woman. It's the same thing. Why y'all are equal? You know that you can do the job just like he can do the job. Same exact thing. Why do you feel some type of way because I am in charge? If I can get the job done, then it is what it is. Like, I'm no less than you because I'm a woman. And it's 2019. I don't get why we're sitting here talking about it. Like it because we have to talk about it. It's still an issue. But it's crazy to me that you can't see that. And as a Black man, it's kind of like I'm embarrassed that you would look at me as less than when you should know how it feels to feel inferior to someone, you know?
And I'll just go in and tap on a little bit what you were talking about. Feminism right now, I feel like some people overstep their boundaries when talking about feminism, because, you know, you have some women that try to redefine it and do just way too much. Like, you know, I understand, you know, the movement and everything that you're trying to do for women. But when you start stepping out of your role and starting to challenge the male in his role, that's where we draw the line. And then a lot of people have so many issues dealing with feminism because of stepping out of boundaries, or just, you know, not being able to work within your parameters and being able to empower us. And sometimes I feel like feminism, they challenge the Black male to the degree to where it's like you're saying that you're not man enough to either carry out this issue or hold down the fort or do something like that. And then when something happens, they look at us like, well, Black men, what the fuck is going on? Again, here we go, blaming us for something that, you know, that we were supposed to do. And this kind of strikes me because I'm looking at it like, what do we do in this situation? Especially when you take our voice from us, because now you want us to operate in a certain way. And if we don't, here we going back and forth again.
Can you give an example? Like, or make up an example just so that I can follow?
I mean, okay, when I mean like that, okay, so just like the guy from Empire, you know, he was sexually profiled and all of this stuff. And of course, the racial slurs was going on. Again, they found a way to blame Black men. You know, I've been seeing a lot of people on my timeline talk about it. I didn't see my boy Red talk about it. I didn't see my boy Larry talk about it. You know, I've been engaged in the conversation, but these are the things that I've seen. A lot of feminists will sit here and find a way to blame our Black males for not standing up in a certain situation, but nobody is really sitting there having a conversation about explaining, you know, what is going on. There we go. You step out of your boundary. Don't sit here and tell me something that I need to do. First of all, we are already working on the same timetable. Now that you're finding a way to continue to challenge my character and my role as a Black male, then again, it becomes a problem. So then now I have to come back at you because you're really challenging my perspective or my role in the Black community. That's a big problem.
You're saying from as a standpoint as from a white person?
Just from a feminist.
Oh, okay.
From a feminist. I'm just saying some feminists step out of their boundaries. That's all I'm saying. Now, going back to careers with women. Women in their careers are definitely inferior. Black women, I should say, and then I'm gonna talk about other races. Black women, because we've always talked about it, the angry Black woman. Everybody continues to have this angry Black woman, and as soon as the angry Black woman is put in power,
I got a couple at my job.
Yeah,
that's a real thing.
But look, I want to complete this whole thought, because the angry Black woman is put in power, and she has that authority, and whether she issues that authority, she's what? Blamed as an angry Black woman. But then again, if she's a pushover, she's not capable of carrying out this job. So now you're put in a position to try to be able to play one side of the fence or both sides of the fence or even in the middle. That's a tough job automatically. So what do you do in that situation? So first of all, that Black woman coming into power has to understand that role first and foremost. A lot of people don't understand that this is an issue, or just being a woman in management. Then again, now we go to other races that who are women in power. You have to understand that you're telling a group of men.
You said a key word too. Who are
Who?
women?
Yeah. You're telling a group of men who already acknowledge that you're a woman, who already might think that you're inferior, who already might think that you can't even carry out this job. So therefore, where do you find a median of directing these people with a firm voice, intelligence, craftiness, and all the other attributes to gain this leadership? Because it's all about women being in leadership. And therefore, the moment you show that you can't lead a group of people, done.
So this kind of goes back to when I was asking earlier about, do you mean, are you asking this question for men, or defining role for men or women? Just because I think that's the most important thing to acknowledge. What was the second part of your question, so I can pick it?
Men play a role in the women empowerment. I do agree with that. But the second part of my question was, is it important for a woman to recognize it?
Yeah, that's my point. That's where I was getting at. So I think that it definitely is important for a woman to recognize it, but that's to me the least important, because I am a woman. We already recognize it. It's not anything that's not recognized. I think the most important part of it is for a man to recognize it, because if you're the one who's giving it off, if you're the one who is biased in any way, if you're the one who has a prejudice of any kind, or whatever the case is, if you're the one who feels inferior, or is, like I said again, biased in any type of way, you should be the one to recognize that we're already not on a quote unquote level playing field. So for me, I already know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I already know how I'm going to feel. I already know I already know what it's going to be like, or what it can be like stepping into this role. You should recognize what it is for me, and make sure that you don't step on my toes. Make sure that you don't play into that. Make sure that you are not being the one that's biased. It's less important for me to recognize it. I already recognize it. It's important for men to recognize it, so that you don't play into that stereotype, so that you are not the one who's giving off that biasness. Biasness is a word.
And that plays a factor with the Black community, because first of all, we don't recognize all women as queens or as the dominant force, unlike other races. I mean, we really degrade all women more than any other
race.
For sure.
And when it comes to women in career paths, think about it, man. I mean, I see it every day at work. I mean, they don't pay no attention to the Black woman in charge. But let that white woman say something. Oh, they'll straighten up quick.
It's about Black men.
Black men, they will straighten up quick. But when a Black woman say something to them, they will brush it off. Oh, whatever.
So I have a question. Does that come from the many relationships that men experience, being that they've had that head role, and then now that a Black woman is telling you something, we already ignore your ass. We already ignore your ass. And but seriously, is that something that could honestly be a factor? Because you know what I'm saying? Because let's talk about it. Because honestly, if you really look at it, look how many times a Black woman tells a nigga to do something.
Look how many times that nigga do it.
I'm just being a hundred. I'm saying.
I think that's definitely a part of the psyche. I think that it's definitely a thing as to how our relationships are built anyways, how our relationships are to each other anyways. We were bred to tear each other down. That's just what it is. So do you think it's going to be any different? If we were bred to tear each other down, do you think it's going to be any different in the workforce? No. But it's like I said, it's 2019. We're having this talk, which means that we know, which means that now we are responsible for our actions. So at this point, if we're having this conversation and you're still going to work and disrespecting your Black manager because she's Black and you don't give a fuck about what she's talking about, it's not that important. That's
I love my Black women.
Not y'all too. I'm just talking about managers.
She going on talking about,
I love y'all.
Not she mad. Not still purchase our She Mad t-shirt.
Hey, look, she was talking about it the whole time. I said, damn, why I draw this shirt? I should have never said shit. I said, damn, I'm responsible for everything. Everybody gonna carry me, dog.
I'm not talking about you, Brian.
Nah, but at the same time, though, I feel like it is everybody's responsibility, especially if you're watching this, because You owe a responsibility to do something. First of all, when you get of age, what do your parents give you? Responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how you're growing up, you have a responsibility to do certain things. And whether it comes down to it, whether you know it or not, I always say this: you have a responsibility to your community. So therefore, whoever is in power, whoever, woman, male, she-male, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? You have to understand that this
so random.
Well,
but you gotta say it nowadays. You gotta respect it across the board. And I'm not gonna go into that whole situation.
You love me.
I love that whole situation. Look, but at the same time, we have a responsibility to carry out these things, because now that we've brought it up, you're aware of it. Mm-hmm. It's no going around.
It's no going back.
So now we're challenging everybody out there that you have to start having a level of responsibility in your workforce or in anything that's going on. It's not just work. It could be a community service project. It could be anything. This is a wide range to touch a whole lot of people, because the responsibility is to respect that Black woman.
And can I
or that woman?
This is just to piggyback off of what you said. And then it's a trickle down effect. So the thing about it is that I feel like for us, what keeps us down is the fact that we don't respect each other, because we have such a disrespectful relationship. And not to say that that's for every Black person, every Black man. I'm just talking about in general, in the Black community. That's just what it has been for years because of whatever in the past. But it's like
slavery.
It's like, and yeah, exactly. like we all.
I'm gonna throw it out.
No, we can definitely talk about it. I'm just like, we all know that.
We only here for she matters.
Hey,
we're not here for slavery.
We already know what it is.
Reparation checks, we need them.
I need that 100 billion. I just say it.
No, but
she matters.
Yes, Kiara matters. But anyways, no, seriously, it's a trickle down effect though. And I feel like even for Black men, if you want to be respected, then it starts with respecting us. People feel so comfortable with disrespecting you because we don't even respect each other. You get what I'm saying? Like it's bigger than just me feeling like disrespected as a Black woman. It's bigger than you not respecting me as a Black man or me disrespecting you as a Black man. It's bigger than just us. People don't respect us. Other races across the board do not respect us because we don't even respect each other. They watch us disrespect each other. So why the hell they don't see we don't why the hell would they respect us when we don't even respect each other? It's bigger than us. And if people took the time to realize that even in the workplace, your boss as a man probably wouldn't if they see you disrespecting or whoever, or you not to talk around in circles, but either way, point is that we need to start respecting each other more. That's how we demand respect from other people. They're not going to respect us if we don't even respect each other. Point blank.
And I got a question for y'all. So piggybacking off of the first question I asked y'all, how can we recognize self-confidence versus gender discrimination in the workforce?
As a woman,
all woman.
She made sure she threw that out there.
No, but I just wanted to make sure. Just because this is how I took this question. This is how I take this question. You're saying you're taking my self-confidence and my arrogance. Okay, let me give it an example. So like, I'm your boss and I feel like y'all not listening to me, or y'all are not taking what I say seriously, or whatever the case is. And you're like, no, it's not that I'm not taking you seriously, or it's not, as a man, not that I'm not taking you seriously, or not that I'm not listening to what you're saying. It's just, you really have a chip on your shoulder. Like, you are really arrogant. You have a chip on your shoulder and you're not everything that you think you are. Is that what you're saying? Yep. Like, I'm not discriminating against you. You really are just arrogant kind of thing. Is that where you're getting at?
Okay, how I vision this question is a lot of things that's going on that, especially in the workforce or even in community event, whatever you're doing, a lot of people, like women, I would say a lot of women lose their confidence in certain things that they're doing, being that the fact that they're unaware of the gender discrimination. As far as it might just be me, just like how we gave an example of how what you were just saying. If you're coming across telling certain people certain things and they're not listening, what does that do to your self-confidence? You know what I'm saying? People will lack that self-confidence or feel like they are continue to be inferior or they can't lead a group of people because they are unable to recognize the gender discrimination that's going on in the workforce. And that's what I'm saying to a lot of women out here. Is something that you're not recognizing in the workforce causing you to lose self-confidence? Because a lot of people were like, okay, I didn't do this because this and this didn't go right, or I didn't see myself this way because I couldn't even do this right. You know what I'm saying? But we weren't really looking at it from men were being men. You know, as far as men were either seeing my body more than they heard my voice. People were either, like I said, neglecting your voice because you of a black face, you know, certain things like that. Does that kill your self-confidence just because of the gender discrimination?
I mean, yeah, okay, got you. I mean, yeah, I guess it can kill your self-confidence. But as far as maybe you're not even talking about a leader, are you speaking on leadership role or just in general? In general. I mean, yeah, of course that can kill your self-confidence when you can't get you can't get your work done simply because if you are in a male dominant industry and people the men don't pay you any attention because you're a woman. Of course that can kill your self-confidence. That can make you not want to come to work. That can make you paranoid about what you're doing. Are you doing your job right? Are you getting the not even recognition, but are you able to just, I guess, kind of play out your duty, your task? Yeah, it can kill your self-confidence.
Yeah, because I mean, the only reason why I feel like it is because women, again, it's not just about men. Women battle other women.
Heck yes.
You know what I'm saying? Just because you're a black face don't mean you're the only black face. And you're not the only black face that has what you have. But imagine 3 of you in one workforce, all of you guys do the same thing, but maybe have a little bit different, but all of y'all are working pretty much predominantly the same. What sets all 3 of you apart? You know what I'm saying? And now that you have to face that it is owned by a male, or maybe the higher ups are a male, what does that do for your confidence? Because, you know, now you're battling with other males that's in the workforce, you know, or if it's a heavily dominated workforce, again, you're going to see 5 people come into your position or the leadership position before you even get it. Or you'll see 5 people that get the recognition on the job before you get it, even though you done put in so much work.
What's for me is for me. That's me. That's how I look at stuff. I'm centered, and my job in life, my duty in life is to understand what is for me is for me. And so I'm a very self-confident person. That's in anything that I do. And I just feel like, I try not say I'm perfect, but I try not to go into anything worrying about what you doing or what you doing. If I'm gonna get this, if it's for me, I'm a shine regardless, because that's just what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm going to shine. And if I don't get it, that wasn't for me. So maybe this question is for somebody else, but I just don't look at it. I'm gonna pray about it. I'm gonna give it to God. I'm serious. If it's mine, it's for me. I'm not worried about 3 other black women. And as a matter of fact, I hope this is just me, I hope the best person wins. But if it's 3 black women and 78 white women, and in real life, in my head, I hope one of us get it, because I'm sure we're popping. Like, I'm sure one of us are popping. Don't get me wrong. I love us all, but it is what it is. I'm not in competition with nobody, and I don't go into anything looking at as competition because we're black. Like, I'm not in competition because it's only 3 black people in this room. Like, no, I don't look at it.
See,
like that.
And the thing about it too is I definitely get it with someone that lacks that self-confidence, because, you know, you're an attractive woman, right? Somebody might not be attractive, you know, or less likely to be attractive.
That's the motherfucking problem.
Or who would get that? Wait, I got a question.
Why are we talking about attractiveness?
Who would get that position?
No.
Who would get that position?
No. See, but that's what I'm saying. But a lot, because I was gonna go, you didn't let me finish. I was like, what if somebody's of the heavier set? It's not all about beauty.
That's about beauty. That is about beauty.
But still, again, Sam, ask the question. Sam, ask the question.
Who would get that position?
Who is gonna get that position? The most what?
Attractive woman.
And that's what I'm saying. But then again, you're not even. What I was really trying to get to is that how can that woman who just came into power empower those 2 who are under you?
Can I say something?
Go,
So then
I'm
my
scared.
point exactly to piggyback on what we were talking about earlier about does gender play a defining role and do women need to recognize this?
Yeah.
Women already recognize this. Men need to recognize this because what we're sitting here talking about right now is the fact that y'all are saying that we're talking about beauty. Like, why the fuck are you talking about? You get what I'm saying? Like, why are you focused on?
You want to know why? You want to know why? Because you fine as hell.
Side note. But no, because I think beauty plays a role when it comes to women furthering their careers.
To men, women want to get the job done. That's with anything. I'm not saying speaking for every single woman that a woman will never pick another woman for the job because she's prettier, especially when it comes to TV, especially when it comes to her face being the face of the company, being out there. I get that. I totally understand that aspect. But if we're talking about getting jobs done, my looks should not be an issue. So that's the whole point of this. Now we're really talking about gender. Like, for men to understand, don't hire me because I'm cute. Hire me because I'm a motherfucking boss and I'm gonna make this company work. Why are we talking about the prettiest women in the room getting the job? That's the issue.
Mm-hmm. That is the issue, and this goes on to. I got another one for y'all. I got to throw a little monkey wrench in there. So, what are the stereotypes and unconscious bias of the women when it comes to defining career paths or career roles?
And this is to me.
I'm gonna start with you.
I guess it's a lot of biases. You have bias like different things, like women only being able to, or women having to be secretaries. That's a big one.
Oh, that's a strong one too.
Why you start out there?
You dropping gems, come on.
Like women having to, like, why is that a woman's role to file papers and to, like, what is that?
You wanna know why? Because you gonna file my papers for me. You know?
And your ass look fine as hell doing it, right? Yep, in them heels. Go ahead, click, clack, or kick your ass over there. Put that shit
My point, exactly. Talking about fucking she matters. Talking about she matters.
I'm just telling you how a nigga goes. I'm just saying. Like.
But that's my point. That's why we're sitting here still having this conversation. Or even the opposite. Like, it irritates me. For me, when I work with a guy, don't get me wrong, I understand chivalry, and I understand, like, thank you for being a gentleman when it's time to be a gentleman.
I can't even be a gentleman no more.
No, don't don't get me wrong, but if we have a job to do, if, like, say we're in say we work labor, don't tell me that I can't lift this because, like, I'm a girl, and maybe not say those words, or you can't lift this because you're a woman or you're a lady or you're a female. But, like, if we got a job to do, if our job is to unload trucks, come on, let's all unload these trucks.
But is it wrong for a woman not to be considered because she is a woman when it comes to that job?
Yes.
Explain.
I work at a gym
on
too.
The stereotypes and unbiases.
Yeah, I do you not think that's so?
I mean,
would you be mad if you knew
if I was an employer? Facebook, don't come for me. If I was an employer and I had a manual, hard-working labor job, and I see a woman name and a man name, I will hire a man.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, because I wouldn't want to put a woman through that hard-working labor.
Now you just took a job from a woman who maybe needed to feed her family. Don't get me wrong. If the man is more fit for the job, that's different. But
when it comes to lifting pallets,
but you don't even give the woman a chance. What if she is big as stocky as fuck? What if she's stocky as fuck? What if she deadlift 250 pounds on a regular basis?
Well, that's a difference.
You don't know, but you already wrote her off because she's a woman.
But a lot of employers do that.
But that's my point. I know. That's what we say. You're talking about it. I get it.
Sam just proved why we need to talk about this.
I'm doing it. I mean, I'm doing it for Facebook. I'm doing it for Facebook because a lot of employers view it that way.
But I agree with that, but that's why we're having this conversation. Exactly, I agree with that point.
That is a stereotype, though, and as a bias. Because at the same time, I picked the male because, of course,
you think he bigger, and what if he a Twix?
Yeah.
So you don't even take the resume. What if this Jake been working labor job? She been in the factory. She weld. She do all of this stuff, and she on her shit. But because you saw a man named who was in customer service, who worked at McDonald's, but because he's a man, you don't even you choose him over her, and he lazy as fuck.
But we talking about labor.
I got some comments.
I just want to label just a couple of them, and then we go to the comments. I just wanted to throw out there now, if you're talking about white collar, you know what I'm saying, them high-end jobs. Okay. A lot of people that not a lot of people, but a lot of business people, they're, of the male, they're male population. So once you get a male in that population and they can talk about other things other than business, because they also want to build a personal relationship. So I see that as another thing, not saying that the woman is capable, but as in a business mindset.
Say that one more time for me.
Okay.
I got lost.
So like if I'm going into business, white collar, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm going to meet with a colleague and then he's a male. We're not talking more so about business all the time. We're going to be talking about, football, basketball, sports, other stuff that he might be interested in to build a personal relationship. Not saying that's real personal, but that's what males can also bring to another male. It's kind of hard for other females to do that too. But that's not saying that the women can't hold a personal relationship talking about other things. Mm-hmm. But I feel like that's another stereotype.
Then you have more, if that's the reason why you have hired a man, then you have more interest in your personal business than building your business.
Right.
Because if you're talking about, because I can't hold a conversation about sports with somebody.
It's not just about the conversation. It's just about having another white collar, another masculine male to uphold a position, because it makes my company look like it's in a firm standing. So
your company is not in a firm standing.
I'm not saying this is me. I'm saying it from another business mindset or other people. I'm saying how people. Right. Yeah. So I'm just saying you look like you was about to cut my head off just because I was about to. Because you were coming to me right now. Yeah, I was like, hold on. I said, hold on, little shut up.
I'm coming for your example. You gave that example, and this is how I feel about that example.
Hey, Facebook, I got the veins popping out here. If you should see it, boy, they popping out her forehead like it ain't nothing.
They always pop on my forehead when I'm talking. I'm skinny. Come on. And I got a big.
But nah, go ahead to some of these comments, man.
All right, so I'm gonna touch on some of these comments. From Romeo, he said women need to sit in the crib and relax, but he put the LOL after. Then he said, "Or run their own company." Willie Gillis, he said, in the household, females do that stuff for the family, keeping up with paper receipts, taxes, and all that stuff. LOL. But like you say, if it's for you, it'll be yours. So that applies here and there. Job wasn't for her. And then Romeo said, there is no way I'm asking a female to do something she's not capable of. I'm not even taking the chance. How do y'all feel about them?
You see her face?
No, I don't feel no type. I have no response because I don't really. No disrespect to nobody that commented. Thank you for commenting, but.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I feel like that's another stereotype to say that women take care of their own personal finances.
It's a lot of men.
I'm trying to tell you.
Take care of finances, because women will spend just shit up, and that's the thing. That's a stereotype that people don't open their minds to. It's a lot of men who take care of the bills.
Hey, look,
my grandfather is one of them.
You got me fucked up if you think I'm about to hand you my whole paycheck. I'm just saying. I don't mean no disrespect to nobody that anybody say anything. I just feel like for you to say that, you got to understand that you have to be on top of certain things. Again, one of the main things that we talk about is it's your responsibility. If you don't have if you're not responsible to take and carry out certain tasks, then you're leaving certain things or certain areas in your life to be unmanageable, or certain things to be just thrown away. That means that the woman can throw it away or mishandle it, or you just not disciplined in a certain area. And that's another thing that we have to be responsible for, because If you're not responsible over that, then anybody can come in and overtake that or do anything with it because you don't have any responsibility to take care of it.
Agree. And then also, I feel like it don't even have to be this deep. For real. I think it's just simple. Like, I can do just like you can do. If it works if this woman can do this, she can do this. If this man can do something that typically is a woman's role, he can do that. Cool. That's the point. We're all human beings. We can do. We're capable of doing
I ain't gonna lie.
Shit.
I ain't gonna lie to you though, but if a woman take care of them finances like it ain't nothing, boy, what and cook a home cooked meal, she'll win.
You just said that you wouldn't hand over your
I wouldn't,
whole check.
But see,
to your wife, to the person.
This goes into our previous conversation though. This is way off camera, but when we was talking about this relationship aspect of it. If I'm in a relationship, I know her.
Right.
I watch you. Understand that if any woman, I'm gonna give you a little heads up right now. If you're dating me, I am a good observer. I pay attention to what you spend your money on. I pay attention to what you do with your money. So therefore, if I watch you and I'm sitting there observing, I'm not giving you shit. But if you, okay, let's do this. Okay, this is what I did with this. This is what I did with that. You cool with that? Cool with that. I mean,
right.
That's a good decision. But if I just give you my money and you just do whatever with it, and I come in here and you got 7-8 bags, and I'm like, oh, all right, hold on, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? But that's different. But that's all off. Let's go on to the next question, man. All right. Let's go on to the next question. I got you, man. Number 2. It says.
Is this one number 1?
Yeah, this is number 2.
Sheesh.
Yeah, millennial women. It says, my next question is: millennial women tend to start families early. How hard is it to find role models when the previous generation can't really relate to millennial women? First of all, is that a true statement? Okay, so tell me what's not true about this statement.
That millennials start families earlier. I think that was coming from personal people that you know, and not as a worldwide thing. Because millennials are not just Black people, as we all know. Actually, statistically, millennials are starting families way later. That's like our parents. You know, like my mother and my father got married when my mom was 19, my dad was 23. They had their first kid. You know, like they had 5 kids super early. It was a common thing to be married at 17 years old, at 18 years old, to start your family. It was uncommon to go to college and finish college. Now that's the common thing, to go to college, especially with women, to go to college, because Black women are rising, and we do have higher numbers. And not even me. I'm not one of them. But I'm just saying, I'm a college dropout, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, so that's not a true statement. Actually, statistically, the average number for millennial women to the average age is 30 as of right now, and that's as of 2017. It's 30 years old to start a family. Granted, from what we see around, like us, especially us all growing up and going to the same high school and all of that good stuff like that, a lot of us have had kids early, blah, all that good stuff.
Again. I'm sitting on a donut. You feel me? I ain't got nothing to do with me.
She got a full 16 clip loaded. Like, I mean, she taking it.
My sister got 3 kids. Like, that was not a shot at you. My point is that statistically worldwide, that is not true. Like, we are starting way later with families. And then are you saying, when you say families, are you talking about familial structure as in like mom, dad, child, or are you just talking about teen parents? Like, is that what you're referring to?
No, we're just talking about just starting families across the board, so even single mothers.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah,
this is everybody. This is everybody.
The bad thing is, I can say, like, our numbers are low, like with Black women. Yeah. With Black women, our numbers are in the lower percentile, like of having children earlier. Clearly, as you know, we can look around and see that. But just as millennials in general, we definitely are starting to have families later. And then to go to your next question, because I think you had said about
How hard
is it to find role models? I don't agree. Just because I think we have a lot of bomb role models
We
from.
have a lot of bomb role models, but see, the black community as a whole is trying to find themselves. And by
Man, let's keep it 100. It's a lot of broke ass women out here. Broken, excuse me. It's a lot of broken women out here. In the way raised in the ways of a lot of dysfunction. And this is what I'm asking. What are some of the role models? Because you're saying there's a lot of them. But then again, why is there so many broken women today? And I mean, we can go and talk to the relationships that, some of the men, have whatever, slept with Shorty got a baby, whatever. But that doesn't terminate the fact that what the Shorty brings to the table. It's a lot of women out here that are really broken.
For sure.
But I'm sitting here saying if we have all of these women role models and women leadership, then why are these females so broken?
I mean, how do I answer that? I really don't know how to answer why are people so broken or why are so many women so broken. I think that's a personal thing. Mm-hmm. That is a multifaceted question. Like that has so many answers. That's a personal thing.
Pick an avenue and stick with it.
Big avenues, I don't know what that
I said pick an avenue and stick with it. You said there's so many reasons.
Oh, pick an avenue and stick with it. Yes. But it's just so many, we can go into so many reasons. I can't tell you why this woman is broken. I can't say why this woman is broken. I don't know. Was this woman raped? I don't know. Was this woman watch her mother get abused? I don't know. Did this woman grow up without a father? I don't know. Did this woman grow up homeless? I don't know. There's so many different reasons why somebody could be broken. I could go the same way for men. Why are so many black men broken? It's a lot of different answers to that question. I don't know. But what I do know is that we do have good role models in the black community. Like we can't say for women, we can't say that we don't have good role models. And especially for me. My mother is a good role model. My grandmother is a good role model. My friends' mothers. You get what I'm saying? It's plenty business owners. And then that's what's so good also about social media too, is that even if you necessarily don't have that structure at home, social media is definitely to me, I think in this day and age, a blessing and a curse, because you get to pick what you see. You get to choose who you follow. You get to choose what you want to be like. You get to choose who you decide who your role model is going to be. And there's so many dope ass black business owners on social media. There's so many dope ass women on social media. And so I can't say that we don't have a lot. We have fucking Michelle Obama, all of these.
I was waiting for her.
But I'm just saying that's a big one. But we have good role models. Not to say every person is a good role model.
Is she?
But we do. Is she what?
No.
But let me touch on some of these comments right quick before we move on. Willie did in your parade said, yeah, she is right. We are late on kids. Romeo would like facts. Willie said, I think education and job requirements have caused it to be that way. When applying for jobs, they want bachelors, but we will say master's preferred. So you looking at 6 to 7 years of school. So now you're 25, 26, just entering the world outside of school. Marcia said, I think it's a good thing to delay family planning to people get to really know themselves, because become established and raise functional human beings. She also said too many failed marriages and relationships because people truly don't know who they are. So they on who they think they are not. Hold on. I need y'all to be specific. Yes. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Marcia. Okay. Too many failed marriages and relationships because people truly don't know who they are. So they end up choosing partners based on who they think they are and not who they truly are. We tend to lie to ourselves and continue in dysfunction. Agreed.
Do you agree with that? Why don't you agree with that?
I mean, it's a lot of failed marriages, but I don't think that have to do with the way society and our community is moving. I think, honestly, failed marriages just come from lack of communications. I don't think that comes from anything.
Other than lack of
Yes,
communication.
lack of communication.
I think a lack of communication, where does that stem from? Is it because you don't know how to communicate? Because you maybe not even know yourself? If you're like, I agree with the whole, and I'll go with this, I agree with the whole waiting later in life to start a family. That's just for me. Everybody is different. But my reasoning is because I'm getting to know myself. I don't have time, and I want to be like a boss in my own right. I don't want to have to depend on nobody else.
So you like to run a 4-year plan?
Shut up. I'm not. No, I don't. I just don't talk to nobody. That's where I am. I'm not talking to nobody. That's just not the wave that I'm on right now, because I'm focused on me and I want to be right for the person who is right for me. So like, that's my thing. And I don't want to start a family. I don't want to have to raise kids. Not to say that there's a specific age that I'm still a kid. Like, that's not what I want to do. And I don't want to marry somebody when I don't even know myself. I can't properly communicate to you when I can't even properly communicate to myself. I don't even know what the fuck is wrong with me. So I'm gonna tell you, how I'm gonna expect you to know what's wrong with me.
Amen.
I disagree with y'all. It's all about trials and tribulations.
It is too.
It's all about trials and tribulations. And that big C mean a lot. Commitment. That big C mean a lot.
Nah.
When it comes to that, I mean, you gotta be committed. See, a lot of what goes wrong.
Be careful your words.
With our generation.
I see you trying to be careful. Be careful
what
the hell
goes
you say.
wrong with our generation is that the first slip up, the first mishap, the first problem, the first disagreement, it's quits. It's quits. And that's where that lack of communication comes. Because if you could communicate, if you could work it through, you will find a way to be like, okay, well, I don't like this. Well, I don't like what the fuck you doing. But somehow, some way, we're going to make this shit work. And that's where it starts at, communication. And that's how a lot of failed marriages and this shit is going on to generation to generation. We looking at our parents, we looking at our grandparents, we looking past them to find answers that we can't find. Because, first of all, the black community, when you turn 18, what your parents tell you?
Get your ass out.
Get the fuck out my house. Nigga, I did everything I needed to do for you. Get out my house. They don't give you no guidance. They don't give you none of that. They say, I did my job. You graduated high school, get the fuck out of my house. Learn your go. And then what we do, go out into this world trying to find somebody or trying to do the right thing. But if it's not what we know, what we do, run from it. And that's where the failed marriages and failed relationships and single mothers, baby daddies, all that shit fall in line. I'm sorry.
I definitely agree with that. That definitely is why I don't want to do this now. To not have to worry about that, like to be mature enough. Why are you looking like that?
I ain't got nothing to do with this. I'm quiet.
No, I'm just saying, like, to be mature. That commitment takes maturity. And also for me, like, I want to be with somebody who knows what they want, and I want to know what I want. That comes with growth. That comes with knowing yourself. That comes with a whole bunch of different stuff. And for me, I'm not mature enough for that right now. I'm not mature enough for commitment in that extent, especially marriage, because I'm that person. Like, and that's something that I'm working on within my own self. When I don't like it, maybe because I know miss one next 15 one coming. So when something is not working, okay, cool. You're not doing what I need you to do. It's not here. We're not seeing eye to eye, and you can't get on my level. Okay, cool.
A lot of people fail to realize that you're not gonna find another person that is perfect for you. You're not gonna find it. You're not gonna find it, because even that perfect guy is gonna have flaws.
For sure.
Perfect guy or woman is gonna have flaws. that you gotta accept. I mean, you're gonna find ways to deal with it. If they toes ugly, hey, put on some socks. You know, I mean, you're gonna find ways to deal with the flaws. So that I just think it's a maturity thing, which you touched on.
I ain't got nothing to say. I'm just listening. The only reason why, because I agree with what both of y'all are saying. You made a good point. We can't commit to anything. Shit, we can't even come together. That's a commitment.
I know y'all motherfuckers still watching the Super Bowl.
Hey, talk to the people. Talk to the people about that.
That's why I can't. That's why I can't commit to black women right there. That right there.
Come on.
That attitude right there.
Super Bowl night.
I can't commit to shit like that.
Talk to me.
So you already know how I feel.
Talk to the people.
Like, I don't get it. I don't. I guess I don't watch it, but like I don't get it. We are our own downfall as black people, and it sucks that I don't want to blame it on white people because this is not the blame game because we have to take responsibility at this point for our actions. But I do have to say I understand where it stemmed from, and the white race has just done a really good job with fucking us over the years and getting us to this point. But at the end of the day, we got to take responsibility for our own actions.
We fucked ourselves over by. I'm gonna stop.
And I hate to blame white, black, black, because it just takes.
I'm pro Kanye.
Oh, so I ain't got nothing to do with it.
We can go there because
I'm pro Kanye.
I'm not gonna say I'm pro Kanye, but I don't disagree with every single thing Kanye has said. Some people.
Kanye.
We can talk there. We can go there if you want to go there.
We're not going there tonight.
I'm gonna go there.
We're not going there tonight.
We have to go there.
My next question is, what is
more? Was slavery a choice?
No.
Yes. Oh my God. So we went there.
Slavery was a choice. You want to know why? Cause how you take kings and queens and make them peasants? Make them slaves, make them workers. How do you take kings and queens and make them workers? You want to know why? They had to choose to be workers. Because if anything, we would have did what America is good at: war. There was no war when you hear slavery.
Also,
it was rebellions.
Also, we didn't have maybe to the degree of guns.
It don't matter about guns when you got people. China don't got guns, but they were damn sure probably wreck the fuck out of the United States.
So I'm just saying, like there definitely are some variables in it. I don't like to talk. I brought that topic up about is slavery a choice because everybody feels some type of way about that. I just will say I kind of get where Kanye was coming from. I don't 100% disagree with what he's saying.
Nah, he said Sam lost me. I'm sorry, Willie, bro. Kanye, my nigga.
It's always a choice. And that's not to say like I'm saying it's always a choice regardless, just like the whole Super Bowl thing. It's always a fucking choice. When we were talking about earlier about sacrificing, if we would have just decided on 1 week of games, 2 games, whatever we would have decided on to just fucking stick together and show how our numbers have power, we would have made a difference. But because we're so fucking selfish, excuse my language, and because we are so selfish, and you were like, we were gonna feed their children. Because we are so selfish, they cannot stop the league. We make the league. Whoa. So if you
No, she's right.
No, I know she's right, but don't make it like I was trying to defend that statement. She said, "Oh, you said that they gotta get paid." Look, Facebook.
No.
I'm just making it. No, you're right. I'm just making it clear that I wasn't defending that statement, saying that. I'm saying
you were
that.
giving an example of why.
Just say that.
Brian was giving an example of why football players decided not to stand up or take a kneel because they have families to feed, and this is how they make their money. They're not. If all of us would have decided to come together, what were they going to do?
It would have been no league.
It wouldn't have been no league. Are they going to not have a league? Because that's their money.
They're going to end up watching hockey.
Whatever. The NFL is not going nowhere. But because, and the thing is that what's super sad is that we were so trendy and always Colin. We were so, what's his name? Colin? Is it Colin or Colin? It's Colin, right? Yeah.
Don't call him Colin.
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 Okay, Colin Kaepernick. But my point is that we were so trendy. We were so with him, and we were so stand for him, blah, blah. Okay, and when that was all hot, when the juice was whatever, now we back to watching football, and we back in the same situation, and now Colin is back by himself, or whoever else who y'all quote unquote said got exiled, or however that case may go, because we don't decide to come together. Like, for what? We are our own downfall, and that's just how I feel about it.
Go on to the next one.
Nah, I mean, y'all done started on the topic. Is slavery a choice?
Was slavery a choice, or is slavery a choice?
Shit, you still enslaved. Is slavery a choice? Again, it goes back to
right quick. I got a quick break right quick.
It goes back into the comment of us saying that if you want to be something, you have to make up your mind and basically determine that you're that person. So say if I wanted to be an entrepreneur and be a businessman, and I want to start a business tomorrow, if I start a business, I'm a businessman. I made up my mind and I said I'm going to do that. If I said I'm going to make up my mind to own a house and I do that, I did what I said I was going to do. So in saying that, I feel like when it came down to saying, oh, they're coming to enslave me or whatever, you had to make up in your mind, was I going to be enslaved or was I going to be free? From whatever you made at that decision, at that point in time, everything that you've done after that was what you decided. How you ever train somebody, which is part of growing up, how we were talking about grandmothers, mothers, and all the other stuff like that, you passed on a tradition of that choice or of that behavior or of that certain situation, and you continue to console that until certain people were like, you know what, fuck this, I'm not with that. So again, going back to it, if slavery was a choice, in your mind, if you said that you was enslaved, you did everything that you was to do enslaved, then yes, you were enslaved. But if you were free and you decided from that day that you were going to be free, and whether death
was the results of your freedom,
or if you were going to die fighting for freedom, which was again the civil rights. Again, today you can either choose to be free or whatever. All of this comes down to a choice, and everything that you do after that choice is solely dedicated on that person. If you're going to live every day after your life to be free and you will die for this cause, which we've had multiple people die for their cause, but they went down fighting for a choice again, then yes.
And I got to comment. It was a damn choice.
And it sucks to say, because like, it's easier said than done because none of us have been in that situation.
It is. That's
and also it is a thing of, how do you make a slave? You break down the psyche. That's why we are in the situation that we are today as Black people.
You got next coming. Marcy.
You want me to read the joint? I got it.
Marcy.
She said during the what?
Where are you reading? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
She got Marcy.
She said during the African diaspora, something happened called dismemberment, whatever. Dismemberment. We as the people forgot literally everything. We forgot our language, our history, our entire culture was wiped away. Once the Willie Lynch letters, I've already said that people need to read that. Once the Willie Lynch letters happened, we lost total confidence in ourselves as Africans, brainwashed to believe we were less than human. So no, it wasn't a choice. We were brainwashed into believing we could not.
That left them choices, though.
Sam should research the Willie Lynch letters.
Who's that?
I haven't talked to her in so long, cuz. Miss Davis, I forgot her first name. It ain't this BS that she got up here. And I really want to say her name.
It ain't this BS.
But she was like, if you can control a man's thinking, you do not have to worry about this action. And she quoted the person, Carter Goodwin Woodson, the miseducation of the Negro.
I read that book, by the way.
Me too.
I read the
If
Miseducation.
you can control a man's thinking,
Yes.
you do not have to worry about
That's what I said. Break his psyche. That's my point. But the part that we're missing about that is just that is a result of decisions. Well, I want to see what
I'm saying my phone's down. That's all I'm saying. So I'm gonna need that charger.
Okay,
I'm
reading this
gonna
question. But I don't want to not.
But no,
but
the reason I was saying, okay, yes, and that's another thing too that I've been also talking about too, that you were saying breaking a man's psyche, and that which comes to the raping. You know, everybody's saying that of course you take the alpha male, the head leader, and you rape him, and then of course you take all of that power away. You know, that was in the Willie Lynch letter. It really was, you know, and specific books. And that explains how big the psych is. And people don't understand that why psych is being such a big mental topic. Now, but erase all that because I was going to go way left. But even though that it was happening to break all the psyche down, at the end of the day, it was still a choice. You know, I'm just saying.
No, I agree.
No, it was still a choice. Yeah, we've never experienced it. Yeah, it's gonna fall my head up.
We do if we were in that position.
If I'm looking at this as a person, especially if I'm a young boy that's 18, and I see my dad
getting raped.
If you see your pops get raped, what you doing?
Bro, trying this nigga.
No, for real. But you know what I'm saying? And like I said, but another thing too is that the woman, again, not saying it's a woman's fault, but they're consoling that. Like, okay, you have to understand that, again, which is coming in, what we're telling our young boys that go face some of these cops. You have to be careful of what you're saying because you don't know what the repercussions might be. You see what I'm saying? So it's very hard and it's very challenging. But for us right now, it's no excuse. For them, back in the day, it's kind of hard. It's very hard. But still, you're watching this and you're accepting this. And then they're giving you something to say that you got to ask for forgiveness to accept something that you already know that ain't right.
Yeah.
So it's hard, man. It's hard. And for real, you need to put my nose.
Okay, are you reading her question?
You could go with it. I don't want to mess it up.
Or we can just go on to the.
She has a lot of comments. So I don't know.
Yeah, we can go on to the next question until y'all find it. So the next question was basically, what would be more beneficial, generation-specific programs or gender-specific programs?
Is it to me?
Either one. Out there.
You take it first.
Remember, we back. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I think both are super important. I think that having gender specific programs are important because it's even like let me slow down. But I think both are super important. It's important to be able to come together as males and have older males and younger males come together, be able to talk about specific topics, and then have females as well come together and talk about specific topics. I think that's super important. I also think it's important to be able to come together and talk about topics as a geared towards our generation. I think it's also important to be able to do both. Things like, even if I'm just using Talk Up as an example. If Talk Up decided to do something like the Boys and Girls Club, I think it's important to be able to mentor our youth.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah.
I can't focus if y'all moving around.
I got it.
Go ahead, keep talking.
No, keep talking for real.
But no, yeah, I think it's if what I was saying was like mentoring our youth. I think that's the most important thing. And this is an example. It's important to say, like, if you did like a Boys and Girls Club type of thing, and on Mondays there was gender specific stuff where the girls went with the girls and the guys went with the guys, and on Friday you talked about what you needed to talk about, and then on Fridays you came together collectively to speak together, because that also brings awareness, which is the whole point of this. And I think that's why we lack in communication, because we don't have enough of being able to know what men are thinking and know what women are thinking, and being aware of like how we feel and why we move move a certain way that we move. Go ahead, say what you're about to
No,
say.
no. I want him to ask the question again. I want to make sure I heard it right.
So basically, I'm asking, what is more important, or what do you think is more beneficial? Have gender-specific programs or generational-specific programs?
Generational specific programs. I think
And
they're both.
you said both?
Yes,
Yeah,
you
I
said
think they're
both.
both
I will
important.
say
Oh, all right, before that, if you had to pick which one, what would you pick?
I'm not picking because I think that.
Stop being so damn.
I'm not being difficult.
Women.
What do you want me to? You want me to pick something just because you want me to pick something?
it's just a woman.
I hear you. I hear you because I
Don't take her
didn't
rights.
say I didn't agree.
Don't
or
take her
disagree.
rights.
Don't take my.
Don't take her rights. Don't take her rights.
I'm done. Go ahead.
I have the right to
Go ahead.
choose both.
Okay, all right, go ahead. Because I don't want to take her rights. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to make
it.
it.
She matters. Don't even fuck with it. She matters. Y'all trifling.
I don't want to be inferior. I don't want to make her. I don't want to make her feel inferior. So we're just gonna go on.
Why do I gotta pick both?
So look, I'm gonna say, fuck the. What was the second?
Generational or
generation. Fuck the generation. Cause from generation to generation to generation to generation, it been fucked up. I mean, I don't wanna do no generational training. I would rather the gender training. Because I mean, if you have positive men teaching young men, well, boys who are gonna become men, how to be men, I think they could lead by example and show the youth what a good man is. Same thing, vice versa, when it comes to women. If you have women teaching women how to be mothers, how to be hardworking women, I think that would be more positive than the.
Why do we have to have? Why can't we have both? I'm confused.
Because I mean, what do you want to learn from the last?
Don't
generation?
take away her rights.
I mean, what is beneficial about the last generation? Because I look at it. I mean, I'm not gonna say my siblings. I'm gonna go ahead and say my parents. I mean, their generation, they won't as tech savvy as this generation.
So then,
So
what
what
is
can
a
you learn
so
from
then? Okay, well maybe I'm confused. What to you? What are you asking? What is a generational specific program? Like what are you saying? If you don't think that that's beneficial, what is that? What do you mean by that?
A generational program, basically, us millennials teaching the next generation, what is it, Y or some, what is it, Y or
You
Z?
don't think that that's important?
Teaching them about millennial ways, because they gonna look at us like, why the fuck we need to learn this? You know, when they got.
I mean, what is millennial? Well, maybe that's because that's not how I was looking at it. I'm thinking like generational specific programs. Okay, say like you were just saying, you don't think that it's important for us to have programs to teach teach the younger generation, not about millennial ways. We get stuck on that word millennial, like fuck the word millennial. I'm gonna say this, but teach them. That's what this platform.
Fuck millennial. Oh, my soldier boy shit.
No. I'm gonna say this. So in the 90s, 2000, when the internet came out, or the computer something. When was it?
You don't fact check me.
I'm not gonna fact check it, but when technology became savvy, right? I'm looking at my kids now. They way more technology savvy than I ever was at the age that they're at now. So what can I teach them about technology?
Maybe not technology, but you can teach your son how to be a man. You can.
But
teach
see,
your son
that's a gender. That's a gender.
That's
role.
both, though. That's my point. That's both. That was my exact point. I think we had kind of got like, I quit this podcast because you be so passionate, and then but because I'm passionate, now you don't want to talk.
No, I just don't want to take your rights again. You know what I'm saying? I understand where you're coming from, and I'm just treading like.
Y'all whack.
No. I'm a rebuttal you. I'm a rebuttal you because
You're right.
When it comes to, I'm a rebuttal you. I'm not gonna say you're right because when it comes to gender roles,
no, she's right.
No.
You're being whack. This is you brought this topic up. You brought this topic to me. So how come now you don't?
I didn't answer it.
But look, because when it comes to gender roles, I mean, a man could teach a man, but you don't want somebody from the past teaching. You don't want a man from the 60s, 70s teaching a man today because they didn't live the same life. It's a whole different environment out here. That's why I don't think what's the word? Generational training or programs should be even thought of, because I mean, if you look at it,
So
we play basketball, right?
Who teaches the
We play basketball, right? We play basketball, right? So that's like Jordan teaching LeBron. Even though they learn from Jordan, it's some stuff that Jordan did that is not allowed now. So how can Jordan teach LeBron? You get what I'm saying? Y'all don't get it? Y'all don't get it? So
I get it. I just don't get it.
What do you mean? So
because
it's a change of rules. It's a change of everything. It's a change of culture. Like right now.
I understand.
Right now, gay marriages.
Okay.
Let's go there. I'm gonna go there, but I'm not gonna go there because I love the LGBT community. Please don't come after me. I love y'all.
They winning.
So when it comes to that, think about it.
They winning.
Back then, gay marriages, was that acceptable?
No, it wasn't.
It just became 4 years ago, where gay marriages are allowed in the United States.
What? Oh, yeah.
So, I mean,
what are you saying?
What can they teach? The generational, you want to go to generational programs. I mean,
times evolve.
That's what I'm saying. So
That
with
does
time
not take away
evolving,
the
you
fact
can't
that
teach
we
them.
can- No.
You can't teach
Can I
them.
answer now?
I
Can
don't
I answer now? Okay.
Yes, you can answer. I won't take away your rights.
Please. She wants both and want to be difficult. I'm going to throw that out there. I know because I know you're
But
going to
not
respond.
difficult.
But yes, of course, always. But I don't believe that statement because that's like saying I'm gonna go to my dad and slap the shit out of him.
No.
You know the reason why I said that is because everything that you've learned from this point
Came from mine.
and so that's a pure slap in that man's face.
Whoa.
No. Wait, listen, can I finish? No, I am. I hear you. I do. I hear you. I'm not literally saying you slap that man in his face.
Yeah.
Hey, look, Mr. Hughes, I'm saying the only reason
Daddy,
why
I love you. I love you, Daddy. Don't disown me yet. Don't disown me.
But the reason why I say that is because you can't simply sit here and say you can't go from generation to generation and never learn a thing.
No, you could learn a thing, but a program, then we will be stuck in that generation.
No, because you are already in your generation. Right?
Right.
Just like how your dad taught you, you already in your generation. But how do you take from what's been passed down from generation to generation? Not the hurt.
So you can choose one. I'm gonna go to you. If you can choose one, which one you thinking? No. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear.
Can I finish?
I don't want to hear.
Can I
Which
finish
one you
my
picking right now?
sophisticated thought?
Right now. Which one you're picking? Gender or generation? Which one you picking?
That's petty.
How?
That's petty. That's not real life to say you gotta pick one. That's just for the sake
I mean,
of y'all being silly.
No.
It's petty to have to pick one when you can. It's real life.
First of all, don't you come on my show talking about what I can and can't do.
That's petty. To have to pick one. You can't pick one.
I went. The only reason why
I'm saying that's petty to have to pick one when you can't do both. This is real life.
You can't.
I can do both.
Right. But I mean, you can say that after we're done debating. I mean, I understand
I'm
that.
gonna say it right now.
But I'm just saying, that's just like right now, if I had to told you had to pick between an Asian and a black man, who you picking? That's just saying you have to pick one. You can't have both.
But what's the benefit of me picking one?
I'm just asking you. Just like if
All right,
so vanilla chocolate.
We're not really making
Vanilla chocolate.
vanilla or chocolate.
Yeah.
Vanilla.
You picked one, right? Okay.
Because I can pick one, and I chose to pick one because I do value vanilla over chocolate. If we're talking about flavor,
hold on.
She forgot all about the chocolate though. Yeah, look. She forgot all about the chocolate.
If we're talking about flavor,
she wants some vanilla.
I'm just giving an example, but no, the reason but I do believe you. I feel like both needs to be taught. I really do. I feel like both need to be taught. I feel like a lot of these nonprofits that are being built, I feel like they need to start teaching some of these things. That's why we're up here talking about it. But in this conversation, in this debate, we have to choose one. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Why?
Here we go. I'm not. You won. Okay.
Nobody has told me why though. Are you gonna go to your comments because this is a podcast?
Yes.
Yeah. I forgot all about it.
I'm not debating you. You are totally right. If I had Sam asked me to pick one, and I had to pick one, I'm doing generational.
Generational.
Because the reason why I said I'm not going to teach gender, because you're right. The LGBT, all the other letters are coming into play, and then again, some of them are going more in the feminine aspect of it, and certain things you just can't teach. But they're men. They're classified as men. Some of them are going to be transgender. You know that. But so having gender roles, and then some of these gender roles are changing. You're going to start seeing a lot of females doing a lot of male stuff and a lot of males doing a lot of females, but they're straight. I'm just saying. That's just where it's going. But that's what I'm saying. But if you teach someone generational, it's nothing to teach somebody to put a pen to a paper. It's a lot of things are technology. It's easy. That pen to a paper, that's memory. A lot of people are failing to train the memory brain because they're letting a computer do it. 100%. You see what I'm saying? But that's a generational thing that somebody can teach. And that's only one example, and we can keep going. A lot of males don't know how to fix a car.
I don't. But I'm not gonna wear.
A lot of males don't have. Look, okay, tell me, how many millennials have the garage with their tools out there? We got man caves because we rather watch TV and do all this decorative stuff and stuff like that. But you miss the person that had their tools and their woodwork or their wood shops or their everything in the front of the yard. No, it's changing because we're coming more tech savvy. But that's another generational thing. But it's a lot of things that you can go deep with. That's why I say I feel like it's generational will continue to have that linear thinking, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 step instead of 1, 10. I can't figure it out. I'm pissed off. You feel me? So this is how I feel.
And I mean, I hate to say this, guys. We wrapping up on a 1:30 mark, and I don't like to go over that. So I mean, you got any more?
No, man. I mean, we can end it right down to gender specific and generational. I felt like a lot of people need to understand that it does need to be both. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And the reason why it needs to be both, we need to understand and classify certain people and what their role is. And as soon as you classify what your role is, then you can start teaching that role and defining that role within that gender. And then once you find that, you can start teaching them generational stuff. As I said, stop passing down the brokenness, stop passing down the hurt, stop passing down the difficulty, stop passing down the hard-headedness, stop passing down all the stuff that is damaging to our kids, and pass down generational wealth. So,
and wealth and the whole aspect, not just money, wealth and the being. Last statement.
You got any last statements for us?
I have nothing to say to you. No, I'm just kidding. No,
I'm just Lord.
No, I think that I don't understand why we had to pick one, but I think this was a good debate. I still think that at this last moment, you should read your comments, though, just for the people.
Phone did. That's why I'll go get it.
Don't put me out like that. Don't put me out like that. Phone died.
Hold on, I got you. Good. Go to it. Go ahead with your last comments.
Me?
No, son.
I'm gonna say this, man.
Sheesh.
Hey, man, first. We got to recognize that all women are our queens, and we got to get back there to that point in life, point in time, because we control the women empowerment movement, and I think we play a bit factor in it. And if we don't give our women the praise, man, we never gonna fix this situation. I mean, straight like that, because women are stronger than men, but a lot of men will hate to say that. But I'm gonna say it first here on Talk Up.
I agree, and I agree that it goes both ways too. Like that's never to put the blame on just a man. We have to fix each other. Like we have to make sure that our relationship is restored as black men, black women, white men, white women, whoever. Just us in general. We are like responsible for each other. And if I don't help my relationship with you, then you're not gonna help your relationship with me, and vice versa. Like we have to restore each other. That's how that go.
I definitely agree.
Comments. So Marcia said she said both wisdom up, down, and across. Then she was like, when you examine the details, there really isn't a difference between them. As Solomon said, there's nothing new under the sun. Principles don't change.
That's deep, Marcia.
Yeah. Then she said, every generation ran into the same thing, Sam. With innovation, each generation has the same mindset as you. What can the older generation teach me? Then history is repeated because we lose knowledge of the past.
Boy, y'all coming for Sam today.
I disagree, Sam. I disagree with Sam.
Dang.
You can find, for example, of good fathers and deadbeat dads all through history across generations. And she was like, gay couples ain't nothing new. And she says, in May, civilizations such as Greece and Rome, same-sex activity became acceptable. When we examine various civilizations, they go through the same patterns.
Hey, Marcia, hey, this your invitation right now. What's up? You need to come on Talk Up. We definitely would love to talk to you. You know?
And she said, when you don't learn from the past, you are doomed to repeat it. So that seems like she's going along with the generation.
Yeah, she coming for Sam. I mean, that's clear. Hey, come on the show, Marcia.
But no, like I said, that was the end of everything. That was our comments and everything. So last word before we go.
Hey, I don't got nothing to say, but tune in to Talk Up, man. Please follow us. We trying to give y'all the platform. We're trying to get the people the platform to talk about some real shit, everyday life, man. I mean, hey, we have Kiara here today. We hoping for more to want to come on this platform and speak your mind, voice your opinions. Hey, Sam and Black, that's what we do. Talk Up.